Hello, family, wherever you are today. Wherever you are across the territory, any of our brothers and sisters around the nation that are joining in to our yarn today with Eileen Breen from the Many Rivers wonderful organization. She is the head lead of the Northern region. And today we're going to have a bit of a discussion about Many Rivers, about business, and anything in between. So be aware, Eileen, we'll have a bit of fun today. Firstly, as always, just want to pay deeply acknowledge our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander brothers and sisters, our elders and ancestors across the territory, and also our young brothers and sisters and entrepreneurs who are out there paving their way in the new pathways in regards to a lot of industries that are being explored across the territory today. Whether it be during COVID-19 or out of business, remaining viable, remaining as a startup, getting sustainable and also growing is really important in regards to our business sector today, and obviously around the territory's economic recovery out of COVID and during this particular period. And our discussion today with Sister Eileen will be based around many of that. So once again, respects to everyone that is on the call, and also I'd like to extend that respect, Eileen, to yourself, your family, and also to the Many Rivers team. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much, Murray. It's a real honour to be able to come on and talk about Many Rivers and talk to you and your listeners as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Eileen, can you share us a little bit about your role and just a little bit about your team in regards to what you guys are going through and where everyone is situated within Many Rivers at the moment in the Northern Territory?
Yes, certainly, Murray. So my role with Many Rivers is Head of Region for the Northern Territory. I actually began my journey with Many Rivers in 2015, though, and I started off as a Microenterprise Development Manager. A big mouthful, but in a nutshell, that's like a business coach. And so my role is to actually manage the Many Rivers Northern Territory team of Microenterprise Development Managers. So to support them, to support people to either start up in business or to grow their businesses that they have. So in the Northern Territory, we actually have two managers based in Darwin. And they service Darwin and Greater Darwin region, but also go out into communities. So one of my team goes over to the Tiwi Islands and another one into parts of West Arnhem and Wumbalanya and Kakadu. We have another member in Alice Springs, and she also goes as far north as Tennant Creek. And we just have a new team member starting in Katherine, and that will also service Borroloola and some of the more remote communities in that region. And we also look after West Arnhem, Elcho Island. So you can imagine it's quite, for a small team, that's a lot of area to cover. And we literally go to places where we're invited to go and where there's the opportunity to help people get into business.
Wonderful. So, Sister Eileen, I'm just wondering, can you just share this for our brothers and sisters that are listening in today? Tell us about Many Rivers.
Yeah, sure. So Many Rivers started in 2008. We're a not-for-profit organisation, and it started with one microenterprise development manager in Grafton. And since then, we've grown quite a lot. We now have 39 microenterprise development managers right around Australia. So we go as far north as the Cape and right down to Tasmania and everywhere in between. Of course, we can't cover it everywhere, but yeah, that's our scope. And the original purpose of Many Rivers was around microenterprise development, which is literally looking to support people who wanted to start their own businesses, but for whatever reason had difficulty doing that, whether it was some kind of disadvantage about living remotely, or maybe they didn't have the skills, English as a second language, a whole range of different issues, even maybe just lack of access to finance to start a business. So that was how Many Rivers began, and the purpose was literally to help connect people with the economy, a wider economy, move off welfare and improve their lives of themselves and their communities through connecting with the economy through business. We've since also grown what is called our community economic development arm, which is sort of separate, but we work together, and that is to help specifically support communities or community groups to develop economic opportunities as well. And we have think there's like 8 community economic development managers around Australia, and that's growing. And we have one here in the Northern Territory as well. So that's a little separate, but we also work together. Yeah, and Many Rivers is also piloting at the moment a small business in schools program, which is quite exciting because we recognise, particularly in remote communities, there's not a lot of opportunity for jobs or employment. And so what's the best way to actually try and connect with the economy is through small business and teaching young people in schools that is an opportunity and a possibility for them to create their own future through business.
I was just wondering in regards to, there's a number, the idea of employment hubs is innovation. There's all these programs that are happening nationally and within the territory. And, we can probably, between both of us, probably take up the next hour or so just sharing some of the programs that are out there. I'm just wondering, where does Many Rivers fit in with the ecosystem of innovation and business enabling within the territory? It's just because there's so many people that are sort of doing, the silo mentality, and how do you work in with all the other innovative and business enabling functions?
Yeah, you're right. There is what appears to be a bit of a duplication of services in the territory, and a lot of help available, which of course is wonderful. But the thing about, well, where do you actually go? So our focus is really on what we call our core clients, and that is supporting individuals who are either on welfare or some form of welfare or very low income, or supporting individuals whose business idea would potentially employ people in that core category of experiencing disadvantage. So I think what's different about Many Rivers compared to what else is available out there is the journey and the walking alongside people that we do. So there's no time frame of how long or how short we work with people. It's really individually based, and it's really a lot of one-on-one support. Someone who comes to us with a particular idea of what they want to start, or potentially a small business that is struggling, meaning that the person's still in a disadvantage even though they want to grow that business. So how we then work with that individual is that we help them develop a business plan, even for an existing business, because it actually helps identify where the gaps are in their knowledge and how we can then coach once we've identified where those gaps are. With the business plan that we do, it also helps us identify, well, is there some other organisation or support that they could get from the wider community to bring in? It might be like there's some webinars or some other workshops going on we could connect people up with, and we can actually journey with them while they do those workshops as well. Also to connect them with grant opportunities, which there's a lot more of that available in the Northern Territory than elsewhere. So with our business coaching, we're really clear to say we don't write business plans for people, but we do it with people, because the whole purpose is to actually build up the individual's capability to understand and run the business themselves. What I don't want to see is that they're creating something that then requires someone else to hold their hand all the way along. We'll hold their hand for 5 years plus if need be, but the idea is that they build up their capability to run the business on their own, and their skill set and their knowledge as they go through. That also includes financial literacy training, so we teach them about cash flows, record keeping, and that whole understanding about the money story as we go through as well.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Now, with COVID, COVID-19, obviously, just how in varying effects, it's affected, obviously, just that interaction with our remote communities, with the shutdown and how it's being managed from a health and safety perspective. From the Many Rivers Northern Territory family, how is that? How are you still connecting your services with your clients? But also, what are some of the lessons that you've had to take note of to ensure that you've got that connectivity with your clients, but also to the communities that you support?
Yeah, I think it's such a challenge. It's been really, really difficult up here, and I guess we've had to be incredibly mindful of how vulnerable some of our remote communities are. And with that disease, the last thing we want to be doing is putting people's health at risk. So that's been our number one focus, is that health and safety of our clients and their communities has to come first. So it's actually been very challenging to connect with some of our more remote clients. The biggest challenge being that we have all the video capability, like you and I are talking here, and connectivity, but our clients don't always have that. Some have, and we've been able to work with some of our clients video conferencing like this and teaching them sharing screens, emails, but that's only some. So with the others, it has been a challenge. We're now in the position where we've been able to get back out to remote communities and connect with people face to face. So we're moving forward again, but we're very mindful that that situation could change depending on the COVID situation in the Northern Territory. So the biggest challenge we've identified is how do we continue that communication, and does everything just continue to close down in the future? So what we're looking at the moment, well, on our community economic development arm, where we're working with whole communities, we've been able to connect them, or in the process of basically providing laptops with the capability for Zoom and training those community groups to be able to use that so that we can continue to connect. With individuals, that's a lot harder. So at the moment, we're really actively looking at who else is in the community, what other stakeholders may be there, and organisations that we do partner with, that we could potentially look at putting in a laptop in a community, in a safe space, that people would be allowed to come in and jump on and actually connect with us just the way you and I are. And we can still continue that journey and that troubleshooting and that support with the business coaching. And you think about the way the world's going, telehealth and being able to actually learn the skills to connect digitally is really key. I guess to not just business development, but connection to wider services, health, and connection to knowledge. We're not just, if we're teaching our clients to use digital platforms like this, it actually opens up a whole world for them beyond business as well. So that's
right. Yeah.
For my team in particular, to look at how can we do that.
Yeah, that's great. Look, I suppose with our program within the Black, with the Northern Territory Indigenous Business Program that we've been rolling out for the last 6.5 weeks now, I suppose. The one thing that we've been trying to share is that, around recovery within a territory and wherever you are, whether it be remote, regional, or in Darwin, remaining connected, whether it be virtually or by phone or face-to-face or however the hell it happens, that it's actually happening. So in regards to what we've been sharing, championing really, really quite strongly is, no matter what organization you are part of or what stakeholder group or however you're enabling, all we're just trying to share as part of our programs, this is just, it's there. You have got options. Like you shared earlier, there is a lot of grants there for brothers and sisters to access, including obviously the support from the Many Rivers team, which is really wonderful. But they're all tools for you to create your entrepreneurship, whatever the hell that is, which is really, really encouraging, and something I think sometimes we get so get caught up looking at our feet that when we look up a little bit, there is a lot of opportunities that are out there for any of our Indigenous businesses in the territory, but also to connect with the wider community, whether you're white, black, or brindle. So I was just wondering, in regards to, if you had 3 tips for our brothers and sisters. So I don't know if, in regards to the program, we encourage all the established territory Indigenous businesses to be part of our program. We've got a number that are on our program, and as the backbone of obviously that recovery piece, if you had 3 tips for them, what would they be in regards to this period of obviously COVID and where the territory is economically, for them to move ahead and remain strong?
Yeah, okay, put me on the spot, Mike.
Sorry, I apologise.
I think one of them, and this doesn't just relate to COVID, but So one of the most important things is really understanding the numbers in your business. And most people shy away from that. And I get that. Most people love doing their business and they want to do the thing they do really well, whether it's a tourism offering or making beautiful products that they're going to sell. That's the thing they want to do. But if you don't understand the numbers, and when I talk about numbers, that's like understanding how much it costs to either make a product or deliver your service, and what to charge people. It comes down to like cash flow. So your business has to have more money coming in than going out for it to be successful. And if you don't understand what that looks like, you're literally setting yourself up to fail. And I think there was something I read recently that it's something like 90% of small businesses fail because of cash flow. And that's literally not enough money coming in and too much money going out. So, that's something that we really work strongly with our clients to help them develop a cash flow and understand what that means. And also we teach them how to do record keeping. And it can be really simple as we provide record keeping kits, which are paper-based systems, or if someone has the capability to do an Excel spreadsheet, we have that record keeping kit set up in Excel, or we can even go more advanced and teach them something like Wave, an online platform. And that's something, that we do all the way through, and it's absolutely critical for your business. That would be my number one tip.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Number two, I think it's really important to, let's say it's someone who's actually already in business, because I reckon a lot of people who are listening to us or in your program are already in business. They're not just thinking about business. So what's really important for them in this COVID time is to keep connected with their clients, keep marketing. It doesn't have to cost very much. It maybe doesn't even have to cost anything. And that's, you can use social media for that. And remind people that you're there, remind people what your business does, and just keep that message coming out. And what a great time to use our digital platforms, because particularly ones that are in lockdown, depending on how wide your audience is. I know in the NT, when we had a few weeks or a month of being very quiet, my goodness, didn't Facebook and Instagram kick off? So,
Yes.
It's a really good opportunity to do that. Or if you have an email list of people to, connect with them with an email just to say, look, we're still up and operating. This is what we're doing. Maybe we've got some specials on, or how can we help you now? Connection is really, really important. Keep telling your story and keep that live. And that's really, really important, I think. The other thing, and this is just something I find really useful, whether you're a new business or an existing business, is to actually do a business plan. It doesn't have to be something that is enormous. It doesn't have to be a 20-page document, but it helps you identify where some of the gaps are in your business. If you go through a bit of a format and template, and you do a risk analysis and you SWOT analysis, and SWOT being your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, it can actually get your brain thinking again, a little bit of personal brainstorming. You might bring others in your organisation or colleagues in to have a look at it and say, what is there something we're missing here? How can we strengthen our business? Where are our weak points? What could we actually do to improve that? And maybe then you can connect with other business opportunities or support in your community when you've identified what the gaps are. But if you don't know what they are, how do you ask for help? I just find it such a useful thing. And to me, a business plan is a living document. It's not something that just gets done to get a grant and put in the bottom drawer and gathers dust. It's something that's revisited regularly. Because business, as soon as you write that business plan, it's redundant. At least part of it is, because things change all the time. In January, that would be talking about COVID now. So, we revisited, many rivers revisited every single operating business that we support and relooked at their business plan and their cash flow through the COVID period to say, okay, where are you now? How can we help? What are the opportunities? For some, it's business on hold, particularly for some of the tourism businesses. And then as domestic tourism became possible, we go, okay, how do we look at that? How do we support you? How can we connect you with help from the community or whatever it is? That's a living document and a living business plan. And I think if people want to look at some of these tips, they can actually go on our website, and the Many Rivers website has not just those particular 3 tips that I've given, but a whole pile of different resources that we produced during COVID, particularly to help our existing clients, but that's available to anyone. You don't have to be a client to jump onto our website and have a look.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Really, really wonderful and very consistent tips from what we've been hearing from other key stakeholders as well, Eileen, in regards to record keeping. Cash is king, right? Cash flow is king. Remaining connected, whether it be social media or face-to-face. We've been sharing that through our conversation today. And finally, the importance of a business plan. Before I let you off the hook, there's one more question, which a lot of territory businesses have shared with us, and that is, what's the difference between a business plan and a business strategy?
Well, a business plan has a business strategy in it. So the business plan looks at the whole business overall. A strategy can be for a specific part of your business that you really want to focus on. But you can actually use a business plan template just for the strategy. But what's really exciting about doing a strategy is, let's say you've done a cash flow as part of your business plan, and that's your overall existing business, but you want to test a new product or a new idea. You can actually add that to your cash flow and see, well, what does that strategy or that idea, and I know it is a bit of crystal ball gazing, but you've got to start somewhere. How will that affect your existing business? What are the resources you need to actually put into that strategy? And does it actually make sense to do that? Does that make sense? Yeah. How does it make sense in the framework of what you're actually doing?
Yeah.
So you can use the business plan template, but you just hone in on one particular idea. But it's really important to see how that affects the overall business and where you're at right now.
Yeah, great. Sister Eileen, look, I want to thank you very much, humbly thank you for your time today. Brothers and sisters that are on the call today, I'm sure you found a lot of value of today's discussion. We'll be posting information in regards to that's from this discussion, this campfire yarn with Sister Eileen in the next couple of days, and obviously relevant links to the Many Rivers site, which is really, really wonderful, and really humbled for your time today, my sister. In regards to where to from here for Many Rivers and yourself, Eileen?
Well, in the Northern Territory, I think what our big focus is also on the community economic development, so connecting with more communities, because we recognise that that's a model, particularly in remote communities, that works particularly well. So looking at groups as a collective and helping them build up their, their financial literacy, connecting with economic opportunities on a community level rather than just individuals. So that's a really exciting thing for the NT and the whole of Australia, where we're rolling out that team. I'm really excited about the Small Business in Schools project, and as I said, it's a pilot, but I think that could make a really amazing difference here in the NT. So that's something I'm really excited about. And and growing the microenterprise development team. For me, it's a real, having done that particular role before, and I do miss it a little bit, miss connecting with clients one-on-one, but I'm really excited to support the team to be able to just get out there and help more individuals, because it's never just about the individual. You help one person, it actually helps their family, it helps their community, and I'm just so passionate about the NT and small business, and helping, providing that coaching support for people to experience what that feels like. And it's not just about the business, it's about the self-confidence that it gives an individual is really key. That's just magic to see people and saying, I can actually do this, themselves. So that's what gets me up and motivates me every day.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And sister, once again, thank you so much for your passion and drive, and obviously the work that the Many Rivers are doing, and for your time today. To the wider audience, brothers and sisters, wherever you are today, look, thank you very much for joining our Campfire Yarn today, and look forward to sharing with you a number of our discussions. The next one is obviously our yarning circle that's coming up. I will finish as I started. I just want to acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander ancestors, our elders, our communities, our businesses that are out there. Some are, let's make sure that we're keeping connected. Remember, cash flow is king, and obviously just ensure that your business plan is up to date, but also pay respects to the families and also anyone that we've lost and over this period, but also pay respects to our young, fantastic entrepreneurs that are coming through and those startups that Many Rivers and various other organizations are supporting. And also, if you are an established territory business and you want to join the program, it's not too late. Just in the comment section down below, just type in Deadly. The team will be in touch on how to connect. All you need to ensure is that you're bringing the right spirit, the right passion, and that you want to be doing business and you want to be doing business together. For the rest of our audience that are out there sharing this content, it's going to be replayed on our YouTube page. Keep on the links and descriptions will be down below. And as always, the Indo-Black Business, Northern Territory Indigenous Business Resilience Program is a program for the community, for our Indigenous businesses that are out there, to be connected, to get relevant information from key stakeholders like Many Rivers and Sister Eileen today. So make sure you stay in tune and make sure that you share our next chapter of our yarns. And as always, maximize opportunities, brothers and sisters, to make a difference wherever the hell you are in the community, and have a fantastic day. Thank you.